Well, here we are again back in Virtual Pool 4, and it's Friday night 9 ball, and it's going to be the last one of 2019. Again, straight away, just to mention, some of us have got to work, and I'm up at 4 AM again tomorrow, so I might not get all of this tournament in. There are only 10 in at the last count. Let's have a check. So depending how quick the matches go, we might be able to get it all in. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Still 10 in, and the bracket should be going up any second. There's about probably less than 30 seconds left for anybody to sign up, and we should be about good to go. And one thing I think I noticed is I was wondering why Casino Jim was here in the lobby. He's not off and on at this time. And Casino Jim is playing I've just looked, he's playing a one-loss side match in the Cowboy World Championship. I think it's Chico he's playing. That should be going up at 1:30. And the brackets are up. We'll have a look at them. I would have probably streamed that match if I'd realised sooner. Well, there we go. Remember, Friday night 9-ball is a handicap tournament, and it's money ball handicapping. Race to 7 on the winner's side, race to 4 on the loser's side. Jose McEwen's playing John Boo. The handicaps, they are up, but that's going to be a scratch match, a first round match. Larry's got a bye. Mr. Strocum and Senny have a bye, so they're going to be playing their second round match. We have Ser Garesh against Spectre Dawn, and Ser Garesh is getting what looks to me from here like the 8-ball, and DJ Redo, One Pocket Slim and Dirties have they've all got buys. One Pocket Slim's going to be playing Dirties in the second round match. So the first round match we're going to watch is going to be between Jose McEwen and John Boo, which is a scratch match. There is no handicap. I presume they're lagging off. Oh no, they've already started. In fact, I thought there was no handicap there. I must be seeing things. Well, that's weird. If you look at the bracket, it shows there are handicaps down there, and if you look at this match between Jose and John Boo, there is no handicap showing. Yet if you go into the match, it shows you that player 2 John Boo is getting the 7-ball. That's strange. That's another bug. Let's I know what we'll do. We will refresh view and see what happens. Yep, that handicap isn't shown on the bracket. Well, that's a bug that needs looking at, because there's a handicap showing there, but the one in the match that we're in isn't showing. Anyway, that's not for us to worry about. Let's just change the cloth colour, and we'll put it to blue, and we'll also check our little doodle, see it's working okay. So we've got Jose at the table, already trailing by 1 rack. And a reminder that player 2, John Boo, is getting a 7-ball. He's not getting 7 and out. He only has the 1 extra money ball, which is about to disappear right now. And Jose needs to leave that angle. Well, you see, he's gone almost 2 straight here in this 8-ball. It's not really the best angle to get up the table for that 9, which is why he's digging in. And He's just overhit it slightly. He's now got the reverse cut. And this is not easy. Cutting back into a blind pocket is never easy, but he's played it well, and he's back all square. Well, good evening to anybody who has joined. The chat should be working, and we are broadcasting to 5 channels, if I can remember what they are: YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Mixer and Smashcast, although I've never had anybody on from Smashcast. I don't think anybody uses it, and then again I don't think anybody's found my channel on Smashcast. So interact number 3. In fact, I don't think I've had anybody on from Mixer either. I might just dump them. We'll leave them run for a few more streams and see what happens, but you would always hope that you'd accidentally get somebody watching the stream. Let's check that bracket, see if it's updated. No, it hasn't, so that's a bug. It's not showing the handicap on the bracket on that top match, the match that we're already in. So Jose resorts to the jump cue to get over this 8 ball and pot the 2. Doesn't want the cue ball to run away. That'll do it. Well, that's a nice little angle on the 3 ball. He can actually run right through, possibly for this 4 ball into the right middle, or take it long. I don't know whether he can hold it. Well, he's tried to hold it. You see, he's tried to pinch the angle there to keep holding for the 4 ball, when it would have been probably better to let the angle run and take the cue ball up that direction somewhere, because then he could have taken the 4 long, or if he'd went over there, could have taken the 4 into the middle. But John Boo has left Jose in trouble. Jose kicking and hoping, and he gets a bit of luck. He's fluked a 3 ball. Going to need another good shot in this 4. And he's way off in that one. And John Boo hasn't been left much. And he's managed to just snick that one in. Has a nice angle on this 5 where he can actually go across. The angle is there to go across and out, and he's managed to control that well. And the 7 will go past the 8. The question is whether he can take this out. And this is a tester, this 7 ball. Cue ball going off the left side rail. Needs to come back out far enough, though he's under hit it. Oh, tell a lie. What do I normally do? I normally forget about the handicap. He only needed the 7 ball. So John Boo goes back into the lead, and I think he's got something yet. The 2 ball has gone on the break. He's got a little cut back into the right middle, and if he misses that 4, well, that's unlucky, because he's brushed the 4 and it's now acting as a blocker, so it's going to have to be the combo. And of course, playing the combo and having to make that angle, the 3 ball has now gone into no man's land. He's not really got an easy pot. He's probably better thin cutting it and running for safety, but he's trying to cut it and pot it, and it's just dropped in, and that's landed perfect on the 5 ball. he can pot the 5 and he can run around the corner, and if he misses the 8, well, the 8 ball's actually done him a favour because he's now landed perfect on the 6. Again, a nice angle to get that cue ball out. And this is a nice little rack to win if John Boo can. Well, of course, again, I've forgotten again, it's a 7 ball. That's twice in a row. I keep forgetting about the handicap. So it's now 3-1. And Jose has got his work cut out here. The error that he made has cost him 2 racks so far. That awkward cut that he had. And so John Boo has the 2 rack lead. And the break has come up dry. And he's played the push out. Now a reminder that the push out can only be played after the break shot, and the incoming player has the choice of actually playing from where the push out was played or pushing his opponent back in. And Jose has again managed to find a way to scratch. Now John Boo has ball in hand. He could have a go at a sort of far-fetched combo in the 9, but he didn't risk it. Had to be careful with that draw shot there. He was always going to go close to the middle pocket. He's the wrong side of the 4. He's going to have to run around the table. Now, how's his luck? Is he going to find a gap? No. And he's got himself hooked. Well, he's just got to give it a blast and hope he gets safe. And that is not bad. That is not bad at all. Perfectly safe. And, well, Jose's the one under pressure. He's got to get this safe. Because John Boo, remember, only has to get to that 7 ball and pot it to win the rack. And not a bad safety either from Jose. Jose is from Spain and John Boo from the UK. Oh, that double kiss there though has given Jose a chance. Now, has he got enough angle on this 5 ball? That was the problem. Couldn't avoid the 9, and he's fluked the 9. Well, there's a bit of luck for you. And he definitely needed that. That was a lucky break. And it gets him 1 back. Take whatever you can get. You get that little bit of luck now and again. It comes in handy, especially if you're trailing 3-1. And Jose has broken dry. And that was not a bad shot either, that little kiss. Well, the kiss in the 9's done me a favour to hold him on to the 2, but it's actually, it's now married the 9 ball to the 6. And that's now awkward. Now, if John Boo was brave enough there, he could have tried to break that 6 and 9 and still have a shot in the 4 into the right middle. Well, right now, he's got no shot. Surely got to look to just get this safe. Well, he's not hit a rail, so it's now ball in hand for Jose. If Jose is paying attention. And of course, Jose is the one with the problem on that 6 ball. has to find a way to break it out, and he's took the risk there with that shot, and that's well played. 6 is now in the open, and of course Jose cannot afford to make an error. He's going to have to play a delicate little cut back and needs to get good position on this 7. Oh dear. Well, you cannot do that. That is just gifting racks away, Jose. And even then he'd left himself awkward in the 7, but it's another simple roll in the middle pocket here for John Boo to open up the gap again. And that is a gift. These are all coming from 2 racks came one after the other from unforced errors from Jose, and that's another one. And it's now 4 racks to 2. And John Boo's got the 6 ball in the break. He has a shot in the 1, the 2's down the bottom end of the table here. Now that cue ball has got nice pace on it. If it just keeps going. And that is pretty good. Now if we look at the problem is that 4 ball blocked off by the 9. And he can certainly take care of that here. He can play the 3 onto the 9. And the 9 onto the 4. Oh, he just hasn't hit it. He hit it. It didn't take enough time over that to read the angle. And he's left the 4 hanging. And Jose tried to stun the cue ball into the 4 to pot it. And it won't go in. And luckily the 3 ball has gone safe over the left rail. And John Boo using this 5 ball as a stopper. And these are the ones that are difficult to judge. If you're trying to get this 3 ball thin and keep distance. Now Jose could be trying a thin cut here, and he is, and he's got it. That's all very well making that shot. He has to back himself here. He's 4-2 down, and he simply has to get out here. There's no excuse why he shouldn't. He really knows he has to as well. Cannot afford to gift another rack away here, especially with that 7 ball. That extra money ball. Has to take care of that now. And this is not a gimme. He's got to be careful. Well, surely this time he'll take care of business. Just a simple roll in on the 9 and get back within 1. Well, whoever wins this match, they'll be getting a decent enough handicap in their second round match, because the winner of this match is going to be playing Larry. Larry has the bye through to round 2. So the break from Jose was another dry break. John Boo playing the push out. A long straightish pot on the 1 for Jose, but the 2's locked up behind that 8 ball. But John Boo himself could be in trouble here. Well, Jose, he hasn't run far enough through. If he'd run further through, he would have had a much easier shot to play for a safety. But that is not a bad outcome. That is pretty good. John Boo going to have to kick off the top rail. And that is not a bad outcome either. He's not left a shot. That's going to scratch, is it? No, just held up in the jaws. And the three ball and the four ball aren't sitting too pretty either. Just above the two. And John Boo looking for distance. And that's pretty good. If you can't get the snooker, make sure you get distance if you can. It always makes the incoming player's shot more difficult playing at distance, trying to catch an edge of an object ball. Well, Jose has got the cover, but if John Boo's handy with the jump cue, he should be able to take care of that shot, jumping over the 6. But there's the problem. The problem is he's got no real control over the cue ball playing that jump shot, and he's locked behind the 4, and it's going to have to be a kick and hope, and that might be a foul. No, it isn't. It's a clean shot. So Jose has a chance. Again, he's got this. This was the one that he missed about 4 racks ago, and when he missed it, it cost him 2 racks. And this is a similar shot. This cut back into the corner. And again, he's played exactly the same shot. He sent it to the far rail, to the long rail on the side there, and he's way off the mark on it. And that's 2 shots, very similar shots, into the same pocket that he's missed. You would think he would learn from his first mistake, but he's played exactly the same thing again. And again, it looks as if it's going to cost him, because John Boo just needs to drop the 6 in and roll the 7. And he's opening the gap to 2 again. So it's now 5 racks to 3. John Boo breaking off in rack number 9. The break is dry again. Well, this could be another rack here for John Boo, because these balls are sitting pretty good. Well, having said that though, he's gone straight on this 3 ball. And he didn't quite get into that cue ball enough. He wanted to come back about another foot there to make this cut in the 4 a lot easier. It's well off the rail, so I think that's going to the jaw. Yeah, and he scratched the middle, so it's a chance for Jose to redeem himself by running this rack with ball in hand. And he has to leave that angle to get the cue ball out, so he can either play the 5 into the right middle or into the bottom corner. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. No, that's an awful shot. And again, he's taking his eye off the ball, thinking about getting on the 5, and he's missed a 4 down the rail with ball in hand, and there's no excuse for that. And it could well be severe punishment here if John Boo can have a sight on this 7. which he can do, and it's going to take him to within one. And Jose's mistakes have been punished severely. It's cost him a rack every time. And so John-Bu looking like yet another dry break in rack number 10. And John-Bu leading by 6 racks to 3. Well, I think Jose went for the pot there, and he's got away with it. Well, this is going to be straight down the rail onto that 5 ball. Doesn't want to hit this too hard though. He wants to try and keep that 3 ball near the corner pocket. And he's still got a shot. And again, it's a chance for Jose, but he's thrown them away. Most of the chances that he's had, he's blown them. And that cue ball has just made it past the 9 ball. And now the crucial shot, getting from that 4 ball onto this bottom rail where the 6 ball is tight to the rail. And that isn't going to get there. And there's the result through. Mr. Strocum has beaten Senni 7 racks to 4. Well, that cue ball's come out with a spin out to the right, and it's left the cut on here for John-Bu, and an easy 7 ball for the match. Well, I don't think things could have went much worse for Jose in that match, and most of the time all self-inflicted. And John-Bu wins the match by 7 racks to 3, and he moves on to play Larry. Well, the one thing that John-Bu's going to find out is that Larry won't be quite making as many basic mistakes as what Jose was doing. And let's have a look at the bracket, and we'll see that should update. And this time John-Bu does have a handicap. He's getting 7 and out against Larry. And One Pocket Slim is 5 racks to 3 up against Dirties, who's getting 6 and out, I believe. Let's go in and have a look at that match. And so Dirties player 2 with 6 and out has ball in hand for an easy win in that rack, but One Pocket Slim is now 6-4 up, just needing the 1 rack. Dirties has broken off. I don't think anything's gone down, has it? Nope, it's a dry break. And look at these balls now. If Slim can pot this one, which isn't easy, and if he can avoid traffic, there is a gap between the 5 and the 7. If he can find the gap and somehow get this cue ball back down the table. Well, he decided he wasn't going to play the pot into the corner. And it's actually ended up safe. And Dirty's playing the little carom shot there off the one, skimming the one and clipping the two in. But unfortunately he hasn't got any luck other than that, because he's blocked out on the one ball. And that's going to miss. Well, now these balls are all there for Slim. With ball in hand, he should run this out to win the match. Now he needs to get that angle on this 4 ball. If he can get the cue ball, well, he's got a slight angle, so he can punch this 4 in, get that cue ball off the rail and over to the left. And that's not a bad pace, but he's got a fairly high angle. The question is whether he can somehow drag this in and hold for the 6. And that's just what he's tried to do. Pocket it dead weight, stop the cue ball escaping. And a pretty straight 8 ball and a 9 to follow to get this match in the bag. And so, One Pocket Slim, given the opportunity, has taken it, and he has won the match by 7 racks to 4. Right. Now let's have a quick look. Right, Casino Jim and Chiku, they are playing their match in the Cowboy World Championships, and a reminder that it's a 1-loss side match. It's a race to 2. We'll have a look in that from time to time to see how things are going. Meanwhile, I'll look at the bracket, and we can see that well, Sergaresh and DJ Redo are playing. They're playing a scratch match in round 2, the winner of which is going to play One Pocket Slim. We'll have a look at that one. Now, I don't know where these guys are from. I need to have a look. Well, according to this, Sergaresh is from Belarus, and DJ Redo is from Germany. And Sergaresh squares the match up at 3 racks all. Sorry, it goes into the lead at 4 racks to 3. So scratch, there is no handicap for either player. Sergaresh breaking off in rack number 8, and the 4 ball has gone. And this could be a quick rack here, as long as he can get on that 2. And now the 8 ball is in the way if he's going to try and draw back, but he needs to get the cue ball up the table somewhere so he can get a sight on the 3, because the 3-9 combo's sitting there. Well, I think he decided to play safe. Maybe not. It's hard to judge what he did there, because he's possibly left a 3-9 billiard. And that was not the best of shots from DJ Redo. Although Sergaresh is awkward here over that 6 ball. And that's not going to get the job done at all. But this time, surely DJ Redo can play the simple enough combo onto the 9. and it ended up being a gift. Almost lost the cue ball there, but it is definitely now back all square. 4 racks all, and DJ Redo has got a ball in the break. The 4 ball has gone. 2 ball over that top left hand corner pocket, so no real worries about getting on it, although he's managed to find a way to block himself, running into the 6 and now going for the bank kick shot, and that looks good to me. That's well played, and this could be another quick rack. He just needs to take his time, line up the shot for the 3-9 combo, and in it goes, and that's exactly what you want. A couple of quick racks to get himself back into the lead. Oh, good evening, Slim. Well, you're at least one person watching the stream. Nobody else is. There's nobody said a word. If they're watching, they're scared to say hello. Oh, that 1 ball needed to keep running. The closer to that top rail, the more difficult the shot for DJ Redo. But he has a pot. Well, he's run into the corner. He might not have a shot now. He's got no shot in the 2. Wanted to keep that cue ball out in the table, and he's played the kick, and he'll be quite happy with that. That is not a bad outcome. There is a possible 2-8 combo. Not easy. Sergeresh had a good attempt at it, but it was difficult from distance. And DJ Redo looking to punch the 2 up the table. Hasn't got the cue ball though. Wanted to try and tuck that in behind the 8 ball, and he's left it lying in the open. And Sergeresh can have a shot to nothing here, but I think the problem is he's going to run almost into that 9 ball. And so it will be... Oh, is it saying it's Eurotruck? I forgot to set the game. I'll change it once the stream's all done so it's in the archive. I was in a bit of a rush trying to set up the stream earlier tonight. I'm surprised I'm actually streaming tonight as well, because I've had lots of problems, weird problems with the PC over the last few weeks. The problem with it just restarting, worried about what the cause of that was, and I still haven't worked out what the cause was, but it hasn't done it for a while. And then I had other problems where I couldn't get Red Dead Redemption to run. It stopped. It would run, and it just wouldn't load the game. And I was 6 hours online with guys at the Rockstar support desk trying to give us a hand to get it running. One guy did eventually get me to get it run, and then when I went to test it again, it wouldn't run again, and all sorts of stuff going on. I tried to get rid of NVIDIA's control panel software, GeForce Experience. I couldn't fully get rid of it. Tried reinstalling new drivers. I couldn't reinstall new drivers. All sorts of things happened. Then I was getting an error coming up with a file error. So there was all sorts of things giving me headaches. So eventually, I downloaded a Windows. I downloaded a Windows repair program that I've used before from tweaking.com, Tweaking Computers, and I ran that in safe mode, as you should do, and it fixed whatever it was that was wrong. And since then, touch wood, I've been able to update my graphics driver. I've been able to get Red Dead Redemption running. It's running and working fine again. My PC hasn't rebooted itself, so I think I might have the situation under control. Oh, there's all sorts of... That's the thing about PCs. See, trying to narrow down a problem, and it is always a process of elimination. But out of all the problems I've had, I still haven't worked out what the root cause of it was. I still don't know. All I know is that it's working, and that'll do for me. Well, back to the match. DJ Redo sitting on the hill, leading by 6 racks to 4. And that 5 ball, I don't think is going anywhere, is it? Let's have a look. Oh yes it is. It goes past the 7, no problem. Now Sergaresh cannot afford a mistake. And this is going to be the tester. He has to push this 6 ball in and get that cue ball around the angles. And he needs to get the pace in it though. He's fell way short. He needed to run another foot. And now, well, is he trying to cut that from that angle? I don't like that shot, but he's played it well. 10 out of 10 for that one. It really was tough. But he's still got to get these other 2 balls. And he looks okay to get back within 1. And so, into rack number 12, Sergaresh has to win it to take the match all the way. He's broke off, and he's broke off dry. And DJ Redo with a chance. Well, I don't know what he tried there. If he was playing a safety, it's worked out pretty well. He's got the block with that 2 ball. Well, there's no way Sergaresh is going to jump that surely at that distance, is he? No, never on. Well, that's given DJ Redo a chance for the match with ball in hand. Might just... Well, I was thinking he might just pot that from where it is and run through and leave the 2 into the left middle. He's going to do that anyway. Well, the problem ball, there isn't really one, provided he can control the cue ball when he pots this 4, because the 5, if we look at the 5, it goes past the 7, no problem. But this is a shot here that's going to cause the problem, actually trying to hold the cue ball to give himself that shot on the 5. He's just trying to drag it, and that is not a bad effort. Managed to kill the pace out of it. And now, if he can avoid running into the 8, well, he squared it up. Is he going to go far enough? Well, this is dangerous. Dangerous because the cut is on, and the scratch is on in the middle pocket as well. Needs to be careful, and he's played it well. And just another 3 balls to go to take us to the final rack. And he's got to play this well. And that was nice. That's a perfect pace on that little draw shot. Straight up the table. Dead onto this 8 ball. Don't draw into the middle pocket, whatever you do. Oh dear. Well, that's going to be his last shot, I think. After all that hard work, he's missed a pretty straight in 8-ball. But lo and behold, Sergaresh can't get himself onto the 9. Well, and Sergaresh has banked the 9. Well, there's a surprise there. I didn't even notice that Spectre Dawn ended up in the 1-loss side, and Senate has beaten Spectre Dawn by 4 racks to 3. How did Spectre Dawn end up going over there? Well, for some reason Spectre Dawn ended up forfeiting his first match against Sergaresh. I never even noticed that. But it doesn't matter. This match here, we're in the final rack decider. And DJ Riru at the table. Well, after that, I still can't believe we missed that 8-ball. Straight in. And it's just purely down to a lack of concentration. And is DJ Riru going to redeem himself here? Anywhere over on the right hand side, he'll have the shot in the 5. And he may well have to leave this 6-ball long if he can come out behind that 9. And this is another tester for him. Now, the 7-ball does not go past the 8, so he needs to get... Well, that's actually worked out. He's missed the 6 and he's fluked the 7. But he's still going to need a good shot on this 6. And a nice pace and a nice bounce. Well, anything can happen here. We saw what he missed in the last rack. Can he draw back off this 7 and leave himself a straight in 9 in the opposite corner? Oh, and that 8-ball nearly hung up again. It nearly hung up again. But this time, DJ Riru has got it done. And he wins the match by 7 racks to 6. And so, he is now going to be lining up against One Pocket Slim. Meanwhile, on the top of the draw, we've got Larry leading John Boo by 6 racks to 2. And the winner of that match is going to play Mr. Strocum. Let's have a look, see if we can catch the end of this match. It may well be over. And it certainly is going to be over. Larry just potting the 9 to win the match by 7 racks to 2. So things are moving along quite nicely. And with that then, we will jump back in to the match that should be about to start once DJ Riru gets in, between himself and One Pocket Slim. In fact, see, before we do that, we'll go in and we'll have a look at Chiku and Casino Jim. We're in the first rack in this match, race to 2, remember, in the Cowboy World Championships. And Chiku at the table, trailing by 16 points at the moment, and trying to play the force follow. That's given Jim the opportunity now to get to 90. It's so important to get to 90 before your opponent. And he's now got an open table, having potted the 3 and caromed the 5. He can now pot the 5, get it on its spot. Now you see, he should have ran through a lot further on this, because he's left himself no shot here he's going to have to dig out a carom. He had to get that cue ball further up the table. And, well, he's used the angles and he's got lucky. And he's now in 89 and just needs to bank the one. And that looks as if it's going to get there. And that will do. And the one goes back in its spot. He has an easy carom to start the caroms. And now around the corner, off the 3 into that 5. So he wants to hit that off the top rail into the back of the 5 if he can. Now, he should have a carom from the 5 to the 1 as well here, I think. He needs to stun it to get it to run across. And that's a good shot. Avoids the scratch. And now again he's going to have to make one. There is nothing obvious here. But what he doesn't want to do is lose his points. He's worked to get into the caroms. He's got 93 on the board. You don't want to lose them. Well, he's done the right thing. He hasn't lost them. And he's got a comfortable lead at the moment. The question is whether Chiku can eat into that. Well, we'll come back in and have a look at that match. And what we'll do now is we'll jump into the One Pocket Slim DJ Redo match, which hopefully is going to let me in. And we're still in the first rack, and Slim is giving DJ Redo the 7 ball. Now, once again, that does not mean 7 and out. It just means that DJ Redo's getting that extra money ball, which is a 7 ball. But he's not getting any use of that in the first rack because Slim has won it. And he's off and running. Breaking in rack 2. The 4 ball has gone into the top right hand corner. And Slim has got no simple shot here on this 1 ball. Although he does have an opportunity for a decent safety. But he's really hampered trying to pick the hit point on this 1 ball, queuing over the 9 and the 3 ball there. That makes it really tough. And he's just tried to send it safe to the side rail. And it hasn't quite got there. There's enough room for DJ Redo to make the cut. And he'll be on the 2 no matter what here, I would think. But the 3 ball isn't going anywhere. 3 ball behind the 9 is blocked by the 7. Can DJ Redo pot the 2 and spin off the end rail? Well, he hasn't played that with any pace at all. And he's hung up the 2. And likewise for Slim, can he make enough on this 2 to get across and get a hit on this 9 and 3 ball? Oh, he's just brushed the 9 and no more. So if you can see a feather edge of the 3, just a little delicate feather, and leave DJ Redo in trouble. Oh, I'm beginning to yawn already. I'm beginning to get tired. Well, Spectre Dawn would have been one of the favourites on paper to win this tournament. Larry usually is as well. And Slim also being in it this week, has a very good chance of winning tonight's tournament. Final is a race to 9. And Slim, provided he can get himself half decent on this 6 ball after potting a 5, should be home and dry in this rack. I'll just drop the 8 in and leave the 9 long for 2-0. Nothing happening there for Slim. But he's left Didgeridoo with no shot other than the push out. Well, that was the worst thought out push out I think I've seen. I mean, okay, the 6 ball and the 9 ball are locked up there at the top end of the table, but that's given Slim a free go. And well, Slim will worry about the 6 and 9 ball when he comes to it, but he's getting a simple starter here to get himself off and running. And Didgeridoo, well, he could have thought a bit more about that shot, because that was nowhere near what a push out should be by giving your opponent a free go. Now Slim here might try and just draw back onto that 9 and nudge things a bit if he can. Difficult to say whether he can actually hold the cue ball there to be able to do it and still have a shot in the 4. No, the angle wouldn't allow him to do it. And he's still got his problems to deal with this 5 ball at the bottom end of the table. What angles he got there? Well, he's fine to get down onto the 5, but he can only really get it from one side, from this right hand side. And well, I think he could have played that a bit better. He's just drawn across the table rather than trying to find the gap between the 5 and the 7, and he's left himself high and dry on this 5 ball, but he's managed to play the cut. He didn't get the kick into the 9 and the 6, and it may well be an attempt at the bank here. Now, can he get to he can't get to the potting angle in that 6. He's only left with a bank because the 9 ball is too close. Well, surely he's not looking at a 6-9 combo, because that is nowhere near set, and he's going to have to pull off some sort of miracle shot to get the angle to hit that 6 ball. Well, that's a great shot. That was excellent. That looked not easy from where I was looking, and he's called it and he's pulled it off, so hats off to that one, and it gives him a 3-0 lead. Well, where's the 9 going? Well, there's a bonus for Didgeridoo. He's fluked to 9 and he's got himself on the board. Well, he's broke off in rack number 5, no joy. Slim with the bank. Now the 3 ball, I think, passes the 9, or does it? That looks tight, but it does go. I think it does go. It is very tight, but there is enough room there for that 3 ball just to sneak past the 9 into this bottom right hand corner. And that isn't going to get the job done. And Slim has missed the edge of the 3, unless my eyes are deceiving me. And he's given DJ Redo ball in hand. And I think, fortunately for Slim, that 3-9 aren't set. Again, with ball in hand, that is such a poor shot to leave that cue ball wide open. And all it's doing is giving Slim a free go. Well, luckily for DJ Redo, he hadn't left Slim an easy 3. And Slim might have escaped here with that shot. Well, that time DJ Redo has got it right. He's got the cover behind the 5. And Slim can't get to the 3. Well, he's going for 2 rails. He's going to run into the 7. So DJ Redo once again has ball in hand. Now remember, he is player 1 in the HUD, and it shows that he is getting the 7 ball. So his objective is to get as far as that 7, but he's left that one short as well. And he should be looking for just safety here. Well, he's managed to get cover. Slim out of the jump stick. Wasn't successful with the pot. Now what does DJ Redo do here? And that's not bad. And not a difficult shot to hit, but at least he's got the cover. Well, DJ Redo's not going to get any better chance than this to get back within 1. And if he hadn't clipped that 6, the cue ball would have been better, but he's still got a shot. Has to get these. Now all he needs to do is pot the 5 with a gentle pace here. He doesn't need to slam this in. Well, that's almost gone too far. He's still okay. The angle to come across to the left hand side, and this time he's got back within 1. quick look and see how the other match is going. Well, Mr. Strockham, who is getting the 6 ball, is leading Larry by 4 racks to 3 at the moment. We've got Senny playing John Boo in the 1 loss side, and John Boo is 3 racks to 2 up. Race to 4, remember. And Dirties is 3 racks to 1 up against Sergaresh. So those matches are going to be over fairly soon. And both of those winners of those matches are going to have opponents in a little while. So they're going to have a little wait for their next opponent. It's going to be a loser from either of these 2 matches on the winner's side. From the Larry match and from this match. And that's a nice shot by Slim. And Slim should be out here. Oh dear, what's he done? Has he gone too far? Let's have a look. He has gone too far. Just a fraction. But he's managed to escape with that one. He's going to need another good shot on this 5. Leave the excuse me, leave the 6 ball into the left middle possibly. Well, he doesn't want to collide with this 7 ball. And he has done, and it's actually worked out, but you know things can go badly wrong if you start colliding with balls. But it's worked out okay. Well, he's going to have to work the cue ball around to come around for this 9 ball into the same pocket. And he's managed to straighten it up without running around. That will do. And Slim widens the gap again to 2, leading by 4 racks to 2. And 2 ball has gone. No shot in the 1. Now, is there any sort of combo on there? Not really, just looking to get cover. Oh, that's unlucky. Got the hit in the 1, just brushed an edge and scratched in past the 5. So it's Slim with ball in hand, looking to see if the 4 will go past the 6. It looks pretty tight from here. Yeah, he's going to have to play that gentle to just nudge it in off the rail and in off the 6. Now he's not going to try and move something here, is he? Yes, he is. And that will do. That certainly improved the situation as far as the 4 ball goes. Now anywhere out into the table, and he'll have a pot and a 5. Well, surely he doesn't want to leave the risk of trying to get onto that rail behind the 9 ball. Yeah, that would have been too dangerous to risk. Plus the fact he would have left himself reasonably straight. But now he's got a straight pot in the 6, and it's going to be a draw. And this is the important shot, because he is dead straight on this 7. So he can only go back the way here. And he hasn't got into that enough. He's left a tough cut on the 8. He's going to have to get enough power in this shot to actually cut the 8. And the cue ball's going to be bouncing off that end rail and back down, and he's got the pace perfect, and that's excellent. Got the pocket weight on that 8 ball and also the weight in the cue ball just to drop down here for the 9, and that was well done. And it's now a 3 rack lead for One Pocket Slim. Another quick look and we'll see that Larry is still trailing. It's 5-4 to Mr. Strocum. And there's a result through on the one loss side. And Senny has beaten John Boot by 4 racks to 3. Well, DJ Redo pots the 1, but he's left himself no shot in the 2. Well, Slim can nudge into that 5, I think. Now he's going to have to chance his arm here if he's going to try and break the 5 and 8 and leave himself a shot in the 3 here. Yeah, he's nudged the 5. He hasn't really improved the situation, so he's going to have to deal with that. And not exactly easy to get good on this 4 ball where it is. It's in an awkward place between the 7 and the 9. Well, he's improved the 5 ball this time, but he's got no shot in the 4. There could be a chance here for DJ Redo. Slim just trying to kill that 4 ball as close to the rail as he could. But again, DJ Redo's safety shots, most of them, not only his push outs have been poor, but the safety shots haven't been that good either. And Slim could inflict perilous damage here if he runs out, and it looks all too easy to run out here. But you've got to get better safeties than that if you're going to be competing. I think this is pretty straight. So once again, Slim can only draw off this 8 ball. And he's just tried to go far enough to leave himself the shot in the 9, and he can draw that in and avoid any risk of scratching. Well, he just played it plain ball. He was confident he wasn't going to risk any scratch. And Slim now is within 1 and has a 4 rack lead, 6 racks to 2. He breaks off in rack number 9, and the 5 ball has gone, and what's more, he's got a shot in the 1. The 2's there, 3's in the open. This match is over. As long as he can get from the 3 to the 4, he should be home and dry. There's no reason he shouldn't be. And there's a result through. And Larry up against that handicap against Mr. Strocombe. And Mr. Strocombe has beaten Larry by 7 racks to 4. And there's another match there. 2 matches and the 1 loss side have both gone to final rack deciders. And this time, Dirties has beaten Sergeresh by 4 racks to 3. So Larry is now over on the 1 loss side. And so Mr. Strocombe lies in wait of the winner of this match, who looks likely to be One Pocket Slim. And as I said earlier, this match is over. These balls are sitting perfect for Slim. No real work to do. The only important one was getting from the, was it the 2 to the 3 or the 3 to the 4? I can't remember, but he's done it. And so One Pocket Slim moves through to play Mr. Strocombe. And DJ Redo moves over to the 1 loss side. So let's have a look at the bracket. There we go. That will update in a second when Slim moves through. But meanwhile, Larry is up against it. He has just starting his match with Dirties, and we're going to watch that because Dirties is getting 6 and out against Larry. But it's only a race to 4. So Larry cannot afford mistakes, and well, would you believe it, he has hung up the 5, trying to I mean, there we go. Never fails. Whenever I enter the room, I jinx someone, and Larry has hung up the 5 ball, trying to spin out for that 7, and my goodness me, what a shocker that was. Having said that though, Dirties has no simple shot on this 7. But he's played it well, and it gets him off the mark. Well, it was a gift of a chance for Dirties, but he still had to make that pot. But what a miss by Larry on the 5 ball. Well, Larry's at least got distance between the 2. Dirties might be looking to try and play this 1-5 combo as a sort of shot to nothing. No, he's managed to squeeze it in past the 5. Well, that was excellent. That was an excellent pot. There could not have been much room behind that 5 ball to squeeze the 1 ball past it. But no sooner have I said that than he's blasted the 2 and he's scratched in the middle pocket. Well, he's given Larry a ball in hand, easy starter on the 3 ball. The straight in 4. Oh dear, well, things are going from bad to worse for Larry. He's all over the place here from what I've seen. I think Larry's been Larry's in his second day celebrating Christmas here, I think, because he's dishing out the presents left to right and centre, and if Dirties can drop in along that bottom rail behind that 6 ball, he should be 2-0 in front. Well, that's excellent. He's actually managed to hold it and stun it really hard to come right across the 6, and it's 2-0, and Larry is being punished for the 2 errors he's made have cost him dear. And Dirties this time breaks off in rack number 3. And Larry once again has ball in hand. Is this going to be deja vu? And just clips the 5. Well, the only way this is going to go wrong is if he blocks himself out behind the 8 ball. But he's got plenty of room to get to the top rail. And now it's in dangerous territory for Larry, because all of these balls are Dirty's money balls. And Larry again cannot afford an error. And is that going to get there? Well, it's another one of these wee testers. Got to give this 100% concentration. And still got to think about getting on the 9 ball. And that's now gone into dangerous territory as well. This is another tester into a blind pocket. And in it goes. And that cue ball was tracking right into that corner, but the pace has just held it out. So Larry is off and running. He's got 1 on the board. He breaks off in rack number 4. And the 2 ball has gone. And I'm pretty certain the 1 passes a 3. Now, has Larry given himself a dressing down and given him a slap around the head to waken himself up here? And straight away though, he has gone all out of shape on this 4 ball. He is neither here nor there as to which pocket he's going to pot this. But it has to be the corner, surely, if he's going to try and get down onto the 5. Well, he's went for it into the middle, but there was far too much traffic to avoid. And Dirties, once again, if he can stun onto that 9 ball, he'll be lying plumb on the 5. Well, that was not the shot. After having played a great stun shot in that other rack, he's now played a draw shot and then drawn straight off the side rail up into the opposite middle pocket. So it's a gift of a chance for Larry this time. And Dirties didn't play that right at all. It looked to me like a simple stun shot onto the 9. But, well, Larry's got to just get that pace right here on the little draw, and that looks good. So he's going to be all square. And it possibly should have been 3 racks to 1 there for Dirties. He blew a very good chance by, well, a technical error, not playing the right shot. So Larry's broke off. The break is dry. Dirties has an easy shot in the 1. Just as easy in the 2. But no shot in the 3. And really, if he can get in the bottom half of the table here and cut that 2 into the middle, that would be his only real chance of trying to break out the 3. But once again, he's just played a draw shot, drawn onto the 2, and now he's got no shot. Should be looking at a half decent safety here. Oh, he's gone all out for the bank. 4 ball was in the way, he's missed it. And Larry has got the same problem in trying to deal with this 3 ball. And that's not exactly perfect. There is an angle there. Can he get lucky? Well, it's hard to say what he tried there because he didn't have enough pace in that cue ball to do anything with it. But either way, he's missed the 2. Oh dear, Dirties has blown it. Well, while that's going on, let's just leave the room for a minute or two and have a quick look and see how Chico and Casino Jim are doing. And the Jinx has worked again. No sooner have I entered the room, but Jinx Casino Jim, he can't get from the 3 ball to the 5 to make the carom. And he's given Chico ball in hand. Sorry, not ball in hand. He's given him a free goal, but Casino Jim won the first rack and has a strong lead in the second rack. So Casino Jim is looking pretty good here to win this match. Once again, provided he gets to the 90s and gets into those caroms. So we'll leave that and we'll nip back in and see the end of this match between Dirties and Larry. We are still 2 racks all. Larry at the table, race to 4 only on the 1 loss side. And that's the wrong side of the 7 ball. Cue ball's going to have to move here. And he's played that with inside left English to check the rail and push to the left, creating the angle to get a shot in the 8. And this time it's Larry who's going to take the lead by 3 racks to 2 and breaking off in rack number 6. The one that he needs to stay in the tournament. But the break is dry, I think. Oh no, he managed to get the 4 ball. Never seen that going in. Never saw it. Well, this is a good opportunity here. There's a wee bit of work to be done though. When he pots this 3 ball, it is not simple to get on the 5. The 5 goes past the 7 and the 8 into the bottom corner, but he's just trying to find that little gap, and that's not bad. He's gone a wee bit higher than he would have liked, but at least he's not hampered by the 6, because that could have always caused bother. And has he gone far enough? I think he has. Just and no more here. Now he needs to watch that middle pocket. That middle pocket there, he needs to be careful. Yeah, oh, he just hit the point. Took the risk. Because that cue ball was always going forward. And it was going forward at an angle that was very close to the scratch into the left middle. But he managed to get away with it. And now it looks as if it's all over for Dirties. Larry gave himself a couple of scares in this match. But he looks to be done and dusted with a 4 racks to 2 win. And Larry moves on. So the tournament is getting down to the nitty gritty. Larry now waiting on the winner of Senny and DJ Redo. DJ Redo 3 racks to 1 up in that match. And Senny is getting the 6 ball, I think, or is it the 8 ball? Meanwhile, over on the winner's side, we can see that One Pocket Slim has raced away to a 5 racks to 1 lead against Mr. Strocum. So we'll drop in and see the end of this match. Mr. Strocum getting the 6 ball as his extra money ball. And clearly he's not been getting many opportunities to get at it, because Slim has built up a strong lead by 5-1. And Mr. Strocum having a go at the bank there. I think he might have escaped it. Yep, Slim can't see the 5. And is he going to try and just bend to clip the edge of this 4? That's what he's trying. Difficult to judge these. Yeah, always tough just to try and bend that cue ball around the 5. So Mr. Strocum has ball in hand. And has he gone too far on this 5 ball? Well, yes, he has. He's going to have to go all around the table here to try and get a shot in that 6. If he's going to play it with, well, was that brave enough? He's left himself high and dry in the 6 for the thin cut, but he's managed to get it, and that will do. It was always risky leaving yourself such a high angle cut, but he's managed to get the job done. And he's broke off in rack number 8, and he's certainly got a ball in the break in that top right hand corner, because the 7 ball has gone. And an awkward little cut down the rail. He's hit it into the rail too soon. And of course, as soon as it hits those jaws, they're generally going to hang up on these table settings. Well, Slim needed to avoid the collision there. He's left himself blocked out on the 2. And he's trying to jump kick the 2. He's managed to do it. Now, has he got away with it? Has that cue ball? I think he has. He can't get to the potting angle in the 2. So it's worked out pretty nice there for Slim. And Mr. Strocum just with the safety option, which he hasn't played too badly either. He's got the distance. Slim, I think, was trying a really cheeky shot there, trying to sneak in behind the 8. But he's left Mr. Strocombe with a start. Big question being asked here of Mr. Strocombe. Can he back himself? Well, he's going to have to pull out something here because, well, we can see the 4 ball isn't going anywhere. All he's got left is either a cross bank on the 4 or the combo onto the 5. And he's tried to play the combo. And I think he has got away with it. Well, that's a bit of good fortune. Left Slim, no shot. Now, is Mr. Strocombe going to get a second bite at this to try and keep himself in the game? Now, Slim trying to punch this into the rail. Yes, he was trying to punch it into the rail and jump the 5 to make the hit in the 4. So Mr. Strocombe gets his reward for his bit of good fortune, that is. And so he's on the 6, which is all he needs to win the rack. And he's back to within 2, trailing by 3 racks to 5, breaking off in rack number 9. And something's in into the bottom left hand corner. And it was the 4 ball and a shot in the 1. Now, these balls are all perfect. But the problem that Mr. Strocombe is going to have is getting on the 5 from this 3. I don't know whether he can draw down the left hand side. It's very dangerous trying that because the middle pocket there on the left hand side. And he's trying to go across and he's hung the 3. And I think he ended up blocking himself off in the 5 anyway, almost. But now Slim has the same problem to deal with. Now, where's that cue ball going to end up? I think he's going to lock himself up here, I think, has he? No, he's okay. Well, surely no alternative but to line up that 5-6 combo. Not easy from where he's sitting. Played it well though. Played it very well. Nice pace, and it keeps the 5 ball in play. Makes it all too easy to get on this 7. And Senny has won the final rack decider against DJ Redo. And he wins the match 4 racks to 3. And meanwhile, One Pocket Slim is just tidying up in this rack that will give him a 6-3 lead. So we're into rack number 10. And this will be the hot seat match then. Yep. This is to see who gets to tonight's final. One Pocket Slim is looking like the favourite to do that. And Larry is now playing Senate in the one loss side. And Jim is sending me a PM. I haven't seen the match result coming up. I never saw that. So Jim is through to the next round on the one loss side in the Cowboy World Champs. Oh, well, you need that bit of luck. Meanwhile, back to the match. In the rack that One Pocket Slim needs to get to the final. And Slim has, well, he actually played a good safety there. The only thing that went wrong was the pace in the cue ball. Ended up scratching. Mr. Strocum has ball in hand, and he's let that cue ball get away and ended up in no man's land again. This is a toughie. Yeah, overcut the 4. And, well, Slim will be thin cutting that 4 along the rail, because he knows that he'll be really unlucky not to have a shot in a 5. And again, got it perfect. So Slim is looking good. If he can get nice on the 7, which he has done, and just drop through for the 8 and leave himself that nice little angle that you always need just to get the cue ball out off that rail when he pots the 8. Now, he could go forward, he could come back the way if he wants to leave the 9 into the top right hand corner. He has a choice as to how he wants to play this. If he goes forward, it's off the end rail, the side rail, and out into the table. If he comes back, it's a cut and a draw off the 8. Looks as if he's going forward though. He's left himself on the short side of the 9. But this for the match, to win it by 7 racks to 3. And in it goes. So Mr. Strocum moves over to the one loss side. And Slim is now in tonight's final, and he's got a bit of a wait. He can have a cup of coffee or whatever he wants. He's going to have a little wait because Mr. Strocum is waiting on the one loss side, or the semi-final to be exact. And Larry is playing Senny at the moment to see who's going to play Mr. Strocum. So we will join that match. And Larry now has just gone into a 2-0 lead. And Larry is given the 6 ball to Senny. And Larry's potted the 1 in the break. And it's a little thin cut into the middle, but you'll have a pot in the 3. Oh dear. Well, Larry's made... Every time I seem to come into the room, I seem to jinx Larry. That did not look a good, a really tough shot in the 2, but that's twice I've joined Larry's room and he's blowing his shots. But the question is still there. Although Senny's been given his chance, can he get to that 6 ball and make Larry pay the price? Well, this is just a nice delicate pace shot here, this cut in the 4. He has to control the pace to give himself a shot in the 5, which he's done. And now anything but blocking yourself behind that 7 ball will do. Well, he diced with it, but he's okay. And the punishment has duly been administered. Larry missed the thin cut in the 2 into the middle pocket. And Senny has taken his chance. Well, Larry wouldn't be in the 1-loss side if he hadn't made some glaring errors in that other match he had. Well, I'm pretty certain Senny's going to have a go at this. Larry's set up a 2-9 combo. It's not easy, but Senny just needs to concentrate on that 2 ball and give it a blast, because you never know. Well, he's trying to be delicate with it. And, well, it's a big pocket now for Larry, even though he's hampered over the 6 ball. That 9 ball makes it a big corner pocket. Larry can hit it off the rail into the 9 and it'll still go in. Well, Larry's got himself in trouble again. Queuing right over the 9. He may well be able to see this 3 ball to pot it. Yeah, but he could only go forward, so he was never going to have any sort of great shot in the 4. Yeah, whenever the balls are in the open, you know, you're always expecting guys like Larry to run the table if they've got a good starter. 9 out of 10 times they're going to do it anyway. So Larry playing safe. Senny is going to have a kick and a blast at the 5. Give it a bash, amp it up, and just hope you get lucky. And he may well have done if this cue ball spins. And it has done. It spins in behind the 6. Now, can Larry have enough room to jump over that 6 ball, line up the 5, and pot the 5 onto that 9? That's what he's trying. And then again, he's not. He's trying the mass 8. And he's overdone it. But that cue ball's going to spin out. Is it going to spin in behind the 6? It hasn't quite done it, I don't think. But then again, Senny can't get to the 5. He can see an edge. Can he play the billiard? The billiard looks good to me. The billiard from the 5 onto the 9, but he's missed it in the way up. And now, surely this time, Larry is going to take this one out. Oh, this is the crucial one. He's got a fairly straight in 7 ball. There is an angle there I think he can pinch if he wants to go forward. But if he's going to draw back, he's going to have to draw deep to leave himself a shot into the middle or into the bottom right hand corner. It looks like the middle is favourite here. And Larry is going to be within 1 to go through to play Mr. Strocum in the semi-final. Well, he breaks off. I don't see anything going down this time. When then again my eyes have gone again. I've missed the 8 ball going in. Never saw that. And Larry trying to thin cut the 1. Hasn't got it, but he's got the next prize. He's left Senny with what doesn't look like any sort of shot. But he's played a cracking kick shot. He's kicked in the 1. And he's going to have to do something else here. Can he see enough of the 2? Yes, he can. He certainly can. He needs to keep running. Now, does the 4 pass the 7? It does as well. And that's a nice pace. That is going to sit absolutely perfect on this 4 ball. To just draw up the table past the 6 on the right hand side. Well, Senny only needs to roll the 5 in and leave the 6 into the right middle. Well, he's decided he's going to come across to leave it into the corner. There shouldn't be a problem. And it's back to within 1 with the break. Well, this time I'm certain nothing's gone in. And nothing has done. And Larry's at the table. He's got a shot in the 1, a shot in the 2. He's got the 3 down the rail. And what looks to be like a 4-9 combo here. Oh dear. Well, Larry's done it again. He's taken his eye off the ball to get on that 2 ball. And he's hung up the 1. Not the best of shots there by Senny. Oh, he's managed to... What the hell was that he caromed? Just as well it's not... Yeah, he's caromed a 6. Goodness me. And all of a sudden, we're into a final rack decider. Well, that was in the blink of an eye. I missed it. I heard it going in, but I never saw what one it was that went in, but it was a 6 ball. Or was it the 9? I'm so confused. I don't know what ball went in there, but it was either the 6 or the 9 went in. It was the 6. And now Larry's got himself staring down the barrel of a gun. It's anybody's match. Now all the balls are there for Larry. There is no excuse. If he leaves himself the angle on the 2 into that left middle, he should be able to drop down onto the 3. Where's the cue ball going though? Well, he's just managed to hold it short. And now he's going to try and find the gap between the 5 and 9. I don't think he wants to put anything on this cue ball. Just looking for the gap. And what's he done with the 9 ball? Oh well. It's going to have to be the 3-9 combo for the match. And that is laid. Where's the cue ball going? Oh, he's okay. Well, Larry's got himself out of jail there. And he's done it with a bit of luck in the end. Nudging on that 9 ball. And it fell plumb onto the 3. And he wins the match by 4 racks to 3. Well, Larry's hanging on by the skin of his teeth tonight. But he's in to the semi-final to play Mr. Strocombe, and he's going to be giving Mr. Strocombe something like the 7 ball, I would think, something along those lines as the handicap. And well, the room is up, both players are in, they'll be lagging already. We will miss the lag. Yeah, they're off and running. And Larry has broken off. And the 8 ball has gone. He has a cut in the 1. Oh dear. Well, Larry's eyes. I'm sure Larry's been at the he's been at the punch, the mulled wine, or something stronger than that. Because he must be seeing double tonight. And it's, what's Mr. Strocombe got? Well, Mr. Strocombe's getting the 6 ball. And he's certainly more than good enough to take advantage of that. Over in the left rail, drop in the 4. Leave an angle to pot that 5 and get the cue ball out into the table. But the shot in the 6. Oh dear, well, that's a disaster. That's the worst thing you could ever do. And his chance may well have gone to punish Larry. He's left himself hooked behind the 9, and it's going to have to be a blast and a hit and hope. Give it as much welly as you can and just hope you get lucky. Where's the cue ball going? Well, he hasn't. And Mr. Strocombe, his chance has gone in the blink of an eye. What do you not want to do? You just want to get the cue ball right out into the table for a shot in that 6 ball. And he finished in the worst possible place you could. Behind the 9 ball, no shot. And ended up, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I mean, at least I've got another witness with me. I mean, Larry's made about 5 of these misses tonight, and the spin is being his undoing. He has hung up the 7, and Mr. Strocombe has been given a lifeline that surely this time he is not going to waste. And in goes the 9. And I think Larry's doing his best to find a way to get out of this and get back to his celebrations. It looks very much like it. Well, sometimes when you think about it, Larry's name might well be on the winner's trophy tonight, because I don't think he can make as many errors and still be surviving in the tournament. And he's now, well, this is tough, potting the 2 and getting up for the 3 and getting good on it, and he looks reasonably good. He's a bit, well, he's gone a wee bit further than he would like. But as I say, sometimes you can be hanging on and struggling, and all of a sudden you find yourself in the final. and then things start to fall into place, and you never know, that might be what happens. And once again, he's just overhit that, and it's now a blind pocket cut. And he's played that well. And also, well, these are the ones that have been his undoing, trying to punch that in. He hasn't hung it up this time, and he's going to be back all square. And the tournament has been on for exactly 2 hours. And Larry breaks off in rack number 3, and certainly one ball has gone. The 4 ball went into the bottom right hand corner, and he's going to be out in this rack. Shot in the 1, shot in the 2, shot in the 3, and the only one that would be a slight issue is the 5, but it will go past the 7. But there is no excuse for not getting out. And this is it. He's just got to get out into the table. And now, look at the distance he's left himself here. He might just want to chicken out and roll this in, yeah. Because he didn't want to try and do too much with the cue ball there. He didn't need to, because the 6 ball was always going to be adjacent to the top right hand corner. Well, Larry is going to somehow get himself into the lead in this semi-final, or one loss side final, whatever you want to call it. And it's only the race to 4. And something dropped. And of course the other problem straight away, immediately, is that 6 ball, and Larry's going to try and stun into it, I think, and pot it, because that is Mr. Strokum's extra money ball. Well, Larry's looking to now just pot the one, but he's got to be wary, and of course he's hung the one again. Yet another ball is hung over the pocket. They just don't want to drop. And Larry had the chance to stun that 6 in, I think, if he'd stunned off the 1, and he's left it hanging. But Mr. Strokum has put himself in the worst spot again. He's going to have to try and jump this 8 and 4 ball to get the 2 in. And of course that's the problem there. Whenever the object ball is adjacent to a rail and you're playing a jump, it's always difficult to avoid that cue ball jumping off the table. And it's given Larry ball in hand for the easy 3-9 combo. But Larry, he took a risk by leaving that 6 ball there, but he's again got out of jail. And it's now 3-1. Well, that's also to do with the setting of your mouse in the advanced settings, as to whether you're using what do you call it? Let me go into that. It's all to do with no, wait a minute, it's not there, it's not the one I'm thinking about. Aye, it's all to do with the velocity computation. set the mouse velocity computation method. The average is a legacy VP method and is a good starting point. The best fit, which is the next option, is similarly, what does that say? Is similar but more accurate using curve fitting. And the accelerated fit is recommended for advanced users, being more like real life but more penal for poor strokes. So I don't know, I mean, I've got mine in velocity average. I keep that the same for every mouse that I use, and I've got, you know, at the moment I've got 2 mice on the go. But it's all to do with that and the type of mouse you have, whether it's a high DPI mouse or not. And it does affect your stroke. Well, Larry's billiarded the 5 in. He's got no great shape on the 4 here. He's got a little delicate cut to make on this 4 ball. Once again, anywhere out in the table, he's got to have a shot in the 7. But it's not going to be easy unless that spins a bit. Well, this is tough. But Mr. Strokum's extra money ball has gone. This is not an easy 7 ball. Yeah, having to try and dig it in to get some sort of control on the cue ball. And he didn't manage it. And Mr. Strokum has an easy opportunity here to roll the 7 in and just kill the cue ball where that 8 ball is. And he's going to be back to within 1. Now, is there another twist to this match? Mr. Strokum breaking off in rack number 6. Needing to win this one to take it all the way. The break looks dry. Now Larry has got no real shot in the 1. I mean, there is the thin cut down the rail, but surely he's got to look at a safety. He might risk it, seeing as the 8 ball and the 5 ball are locked up. But the cue ball might, yeah, nudge into that 4, and he could have maybe got lucky there and broke out the 5 and 8, but he hasn't done. So at some point, that 5 and 8 ball are going to have to be dealt with, and he will have the opportunity if he can get good on this 4 ball. He has to leave the angle off the 4 to get the cue ball across to break that 8 and 5. It's quite a big target just to get some sort of nudge to break something open. And that's why he's drawn. I think he's gone a bit too far though. He's gone just a wee bit further, and he's got that hampering shot over the 6 as well now. He's going to have to dig really well into this 4 ball and try and spin it off the rail. I don't think he can go direct. He's too much of an angle, surely. Got to go off the rail. Yeah, just a nudge. And how's his luck? Well, first of all, it looks as if it's going to have to be the bank on the 5 and spin the cue ball out. It's all or nothing this shot if he's going to do that. Unless he wants to try and leave himself some sort of high cut in the 6. But if he's going to go for it, you've got to go all out for it. And get this cue ball moving. And make the bank. Well, he's went for the cut. It was not a gimme, but he has played it absolutely perfect. Took his time over it, and he got it. It didn't look quite as simple as it did to cut that into the middle. But he's got another toughie though. And in goes the 8. And Larry wins the match by 4 racks to 2. Well, somehow Larry has found himself a way into tonight's final. And he's going to be playing 1 pocket slim in a race to 9. And I don't know whether there'll be any handicap in this. We're going to find out. The room is up. I'm going to get myself in there. And both players have arrived. Well, I think that's Larry on the left-hand side, the furthest away from us. And Slim has won the lag. And he will break off, and it is a scratch match. There are no handicaps. And the 3 ball, it has gone down off the break. That looks pretty good. Larry's in trouble here. Whether he can actually see an edge of that one. Yes, he can. And that looks a good reply. And Slim actually might be able to see enough of that one to pot it. He's just looking for cover. Now, what was I going to do? Hang on a wee sec. I need to speak to Tin. So we're in the first rack of tonight's Friday night 9-ball final, race to 9. And we're going to be finished well in time tonight. I'll be able to get all of this in before I go to bed. Now is Larry going to draw first blood? It looks like it. Now the big question is, has Larry made all his errors in the previous matches? Is he going to start to get his game together at the right time? Because that's all you need to do. And in goes the 9 ball. That of course will be respotted. We're playing with spot money on. If the money ball goes down on the break, it gets respotted and you remain at the table. But Larry has no shot, so he's just looking to get this safe. And he's checked to cue ball up behind the 5. Now Slim will have a go at jumping that, I would think, because there's enough of a gap to make the jump. Hopefully Tin is going to join me in a second. I need to tell him about a problem I've discovered in the non-real-time tournaments. Tin, just to explain to you, remember I told you that I sent my 3 proposal times to Baker Maker. You're the only one that's here, Tin, nobody else is here. Or the only one that was here was Slim, but he's in the final. Right, I need to tell you about a problem, and I've already emailed Steve about it. The NRT tournaments, when you send a proposal through to your opponent, you know, you send your 3 proposal times through, and I did that, and I sent that, was it yesterday? I can't remember, or was it the day before? It might have been yesterday, and that's fine. And what I did, yeah. He'll be away on vacation or away visiting relatives or whatever. Well, I've emailed him anyway about it, but I'm telling you as well, just so that you can remind him. I'll tell you what the problem is. My account, my VP4 profile, has all the boxes checked to have emails and notifications forwarded to me. So they will come through to my email, and they do. Because anybody that sends me a message or anything like that, I get the email coming through to my Hotmail address. Now, the problem I have that I've discovered today is that when I came online today, I thought, I looked all through my emails first of all, and I couldn't see anything from VP4. I looked in my spam folder, and I double checked it twice after having found out that when I went to my profile, on the left hand side of my profile, it showed me that my match had been arranged. So I went to the Cowboy tournament page, and I saw that Baker Maker had chosen one of the time slots. He'd chosen it for 7:30 my time on Sunday night, which is fine, because that was one of the 3 times that I'd given him, or 3 different days but exactly the same time. And Baker Maker accepted it, Now, my problem is, and the problem I think that a lot of other guys may well have had, and that's also a reason why some other guys haven't turned up, even though they've agreed to the match. Even though they've sent a proposal, if the opponent accepts it, the problem is that you don't get an email through from VP4 telling you that your opponent has accepted it, because I never got one. So Steve needs to look at that, because the only way you're going to find out is actually by coming online. And not only that, you have to go to your profile and actually be looking on your profile, and you'll notice a notification. Because if you're not paying attention and you don't look at your profile, and even if you do look at your profile and you don't check that notification on the left-hand window, you won't realise that your match has been accepted, and you might not turn up, you might forget all about it, and that is an issue. Yeah, well, you're getting confirmations that the proposal's been accepted. That's fine, but I'm not getting a notification telling me that it's been accepted, because there is nothing in my email folders. So it needs to be checked. Well, that is a very valid reason as to why that would happen. And I could see why, for example, you know, Stub accepting one of the proposals, or InterchangeX accepting a proposal, I don't know. I mean, there's players who have accepted proposals and their opponents weren't aware that they've accepted them, because they've had no physical notification coming through to their own PC, especially obviously when they're offline. But if they're not familiar in looking at their profile, they won't know. Yeah, but that is definitely a big issue, because I always like to, I check my emails every day, you know, 3 and 4 times a day. And like, for example, I had that big long-winded email through from Wanwa after his last match, and I got that through. That was a notification that came through to my Hotmail account, as well as obviously my VP4 inbox. But in NRT tournaments, when a player accepts a proposal, the player who has offered the proposal does not get a confirmation email, and that is a problem, and it needs to be looked at. That's all I needed to tell you, so that you know. And if you want to, you can double check with other players if they're actually getting a notification through, because I don't think any are. And if that's the case, I'm the only one. Okay, cheers. Thanks for dropping by. Now you can leave me all alone. Anyway, back to the match. That was a slight problem I've got with these non-real-time tournaments. Notifications on them don't seem to be working as the way I thought they should. Meanwhile, Larry at the table with a 2-1 lead in this race to 9. Oh, there, Bedhead's woke up. Bedhead's around. Bedhead, I've got a question for you. Did you hear anything in that conversation I've had with Tin in the last 5 minutes? Because you've been in plenty of NRT tournaments in the last couple of years, so you should know. Right, the question, I mean, this is my first NRT tournament in 9 years. In fact, I think it's the first one officially in VP4. It's my first tournament since VP3. Anyway, it doesn't matter. If I'm playing you in an NRT tournament and you send me a proposal with 3 different dates and times, and I accept one of them, are you getting a notification email through to your personal email on your PC letting you know it's been accepted? Because I am not. My opponent accepted one of the proposal dates I sent to him yesterday, and when I came online today, I knew absolutely nothing about that he'd accepted it until I went to my profile. And there's a little box on the left hand side, shows you that your match has been dated. But having found that out, well, I'm pretty certain my notifications are all on. They've never been changed since the first day I arrived here. And I've looked in my spam folders and I found nothing from VP4. Yeah, you're getting a message and you get an email depending on your notification settings. Right, well, hang on a sec. Look, unless something's drastically changed on my settings, I've got all my notifications checked. I've definitely not unchecked anything. This is taking an age to load. Right, hang on a minute. Right, you see, there's my match there. Up and coming matches. Now, if I go to edit my account, there you go. Ah, right. 10. You seeing that? That's my fault. Hands up. Because I've checked that one, and I haven't checked that one. You see that? My scheduled events and matches, that's my mistake. That one. My scheduled requests. I never even noticed them. That shows you I haven't played an NRT tournament. All of them. I never even noticed them. No, my email address is fine, Tin. I'm just a numpty. Well, Steve can bin the email. No, I thought what was it? I'm sure it said notifications, and I thought that meant all the notifications, but not having read the damn thing in about 8 years, how am I meant to know? Well, it's working now. Yeah. Just tell Steve to bin the email when he gets it. Well, it's a rookie mistake that any new person would make to an NRT tour. In fact, that's what most people probably haven't done in their profile. Exactly what I've done. And they don't get notifications through. There should be a reminder for numpties like myself to make sure they check every single box is ticked in their profile. Now, did I save that? Now, you've got me even thinking I didn't save it. Let's have a look. Yes, I did update it. Yeah. Well, at least I learned something tonight. I think when I read that, I think, what, 7 years ago when I was editing my account for the first time, I'm sure I read that box and it said, do you want to receive all notifications? And I thought, yes. I never even paid any attention to the ones above, because I just thought that meant all of them, but apparently it doesn't. But I still maintain that that's the problem that many players have probably got in these tournaments. They haven't got the boxes checked. In fact, a lot of them are probably worse off than me. They've absolutely got nothing checked at all, and so they don't receive anything through. Well, no, I don't know whether I ever had that on. But anyway, I've now learned from my mistake. And now I do know why I didn't get an email through, and I know that my emails weren't broken. It's just the fact I never had the bloody thing activated. I'm glad I've got witnesses to that, because that's exactly the kind of problem that I'm guessing that a lot of players have, is that they haven't actually got everything checked. If you've got them all checked, you'll get everything through. Yeah, but the thing is, Tin, how do I'm betting that a lot of guys don't get any notifications, and I'll tell you why. They also don't know that they're getting notifications because they're not paying attention to their own profile, like I wasn't. Some of them will never have looked into their profile since the day that they set their name, and they've never been back into that window. And even when they have done, they've maybe updated a logo or a picture, but they've never looked at that bit at the bottom. I'm guessing there's a lot of guys like that who would never say, oh, well, I didn't know about it, because they don't even know that they can get notifications. Anyway, that's my issue resolved. Self-inflicted. Larry has a 3-2 lead with a chance to open up a gap. Now, is he going to squirt out behind it? No, he isn't. And now he's left himself in trouble with a little tester on this 8-ball. So easy just to send us offline to the jaw. Oh, Larry is off by the proverbial country mile. I don't think he could have missed that any worse. Well, I still put this down to the fact that Larry isn't playing the game at all nowadays. Other than when he's online for Friday Night 9-ball, he is very rarely here. And if you don't put the table time in, lining up a shot isn't quite as natural as what it comes to be the more time you do spend at the table. And I would put that as Larry's excuse. I mean, that is, unless he's on late at night, which even when I've been on in early mornings and things like that, Larry's very rarely here, mostly because he probably won't get a game, because there's not a lot of people playing. But certainly, in terms of table time, the table time he gets is during the tournament, but very little else, and it's definitely showing. And the match is back all square. So I hope you're all going to be cheering me on in my third round match in the Cowboy World Championships on Sunday night at 19:30 GMT against Baker Maker. It's going to be do or die. I'll tell you what my goal is. My goal is to get in the money. I don't care where I finish, as long as I get something in return. I just want to get my bloody entry fee back. That's my target. I don't care how I get there. I just want to get some money. Who's the favourite? Oh, I'm the favourite, without a doubt. Well, Baker Maker isn't a mug. I mean, it's all down to who gets to the caroms first. Pretty much most of the time. If you can get to the caroms and build up a lead, then you're a strong favourite. The chasing guys under the pressure. Well, all I heard was Vinces didn't turn up. he might be like me. He might not have the notifications on. But no, all I heard is he missed the time or whatever. All I'm hoping is he misses his next one. That'll take one stumbling block out the way. Well, I hope his memory issues continue for the foreseeable future until the end of this tournament. But Larry's now got himself into the lead. Breaks off in rack number 8. The break is dry. And or was dry as far as I thought, but he's potted the 6 again. How many breaks have happened tonight where I've thought they're dry but a ball has dropped? My eyes have gone. I'm not seeing things dropping into pockets. That wasn't an easy starter, but he's got it. Lots of inside English to check that cue ball back to the right as we look. Well, this is dead straight, so unless he's going to try and squeeze some sort of angle here, I think he can. Let's have a look, see what he's got. Can he pinch anything here? Yes, he can. He can pinch a wee bit of angle. He can try and go over to the right and find a gap. Well, I'm not so convinced that that was a shot. That is in, again, no man's land. He's got a tough cut in this 4, and this cue ball is, I don't know whether he can avoid hitting the 5 here. It's got to be thin. Well, he's trying to just drop it in, and where's the cue ball? No tin, that's it. That was all I needed to tell you. That's resolved the situation. My numptiness has shone through in piles, it has. So I've got all the notifications all checked now. Everything's okay. Thanks for joining. Well, that's tough. Is it going to get there? No, it's hung up. Didn't have the legs. Well, no problem in potting a 5 and getting on the 7. I think that's ended up dead straight as well. Well, there's a slight angle. And he's maybe overhit that. Oh, he's got lucky. He's got extremely lucky. The kiss onto the 8 ball has given him a shot just to pot the 8, run over to the left-hand rail and get out for a shot in the 9. It looks the natural angle. It may be dangerous to go near that middle pocket though. No, he's fine. And so Slim is going to be back all square at 4 racks all. I'll finish off my bottle of water. And we're into rack number 9. And the 3 ball has gone. And look at the mess in the top end of the table. There's nothing happening there. 2, 9 and 4 all locked up. And Slim just looking to keep it safe. Well, if Larry gets this right, he needs to get it thin. He can get that cue ball off the side rail while he's gone straight, trying to use the 7 and 8 as cover. And he's got there. But Slim has got enough room between that 6 and 8 just to spin it off the end rail. Well, he actually tried to kick that up the table, I think, but he got it far too thin. There's no immediate danger though with the 2 ball sitting safe. Well, Larry's cross banked the 1, sorry, but no shot on the 2 now. Is it just a punch? A punch up the table? No. Well, that's an easy safety for Slim. The thin edge of the 2. Now, what's he trying here? He could certainly get the cue ball off that 2 and spin it to the right and bring it down into this bottom left-hand corner where the 6 ball is. But he needs to get a bit of spin on it to do it. That's what he's trying. Just use the 9 ball as a stopper. And if he can get the pace right, he'll have a pretty damn good safety shot, and that is perfect. That is lesson number 3 in the Tactical Genius manual. That is a perfect safety. Good cover and good distance. And Larry's managed to pick the kick angle, and he's got not a bad result. There's nothing easy. And the 7 ball, we can see it goes. There's no problem there as long as you can get good on it. Slim had a tough shot in the 2 and he's missed it, and Larry is going to get his chance to go back into the lead. Oh well, Larry's problem has reared its ugly head again. It's another one that rattles in the jaws. And immediately it's Slim's turn to try and take the lead. Well, this is the one. The 7 and 8 are now wide open, and he looks to have a nice angle on this 6 ball to drop in behind the 7. Well, it looks like the middle left pocket is the favourite for where the 8 ball is going. Just stunned across to the right, he can drop the 8 in and he'll have an easy 9 for a 5-4 lead. Another dry break, definitely this time. Nothing has gone down. And Larry's got... Well, the danger with this shot is he's trying to lock Slim in behind the 6. And it's actually worked out very well, because if he'd got that wrong and that 1 ball hadn't come off the rail and he hadn't got really right in behind the 6, he could have left a really simple kick and possible pot on the 1. But Slim has missed his kick. Larry's got ball in hand. Now, where are the problems here? Well, the problem can easily be resolved here for Larry. If he pots the 3, gets across to the 4, he can drop the 4 in and get onto that 5. So this is the crucial area of the table that Larry's got to deal with in the right way. And we're about to see that now. If he can finish just on square, he's got a nice little angle to drop onto the right hand rail for that 4 ball, and then just tuck it in and leave himself the shot in the 5. And then the next crucial shot is going to be getting on the 6 ball in such a way that he can get back up for that 7. So there's still a job to be done here. Oh, I think he's gone dead straight again, and this has been Larry's nemesis all night. These draw shots at distance, hanging him up in the pockets. Well, this time he's got it sweet. He's left himself a wee bit higher than he would like on this 7, but he has the nice angle to drop down onto this 8 anywhere on the right side. Oh, no sooner have we said it than he's hung up the 7, and it's hang 'em high time tonight for Larry. I don't think there's a rack gone by where he hasn't hung a ball up in all that I've seen of him tonight. That's another one. And is it going to be another rack that's going to get away? And more importantly, is it going to be a 2 rack gap for 1 pocket slim? And it most certainly looks like it. Now that 9 ball, it isn't frozen to the rail, so this should be fairly simple to go to 6 racks to 4 with the break into rack number 11. The first to 9 will win the last Friday night 9 ball of 2019. And Virtual Pool 4 is only a few days away from moving into its 8th year online. We're not far off it anyway. And that's a good safety. Once again, the distance is there that always makes the incoming player's shot really difficult to get it right. And Larry's tried to stun the 1 and stun the cue ball onto the 7 to pot it, but all he's done is just freed it away from the pocket. Now Slim could play the billiard here from the 1 across to the 9 and 5. Well, he's played the pot on the 1, and not only that, he's billiarded the 5 in, and somehow or other he's still got a shot. But it's going to have to be an exceptional shot here to pot this 2 down the rail, get the cue ball over to the left somewhere, and have some sort of shot in the 3. Well, once again though, he's surely got to look for the safety. Well, if he gets the feather edge either side here, he can certainly get distance. If he doesn't hit that 7, and that's a mistake, and it's Larry's chance to try and respond. But in all honesty, I've not got a lot of faith in Larry running out. If he can't stop making these balls hang over pockets, then it's on the knife edge as to whether he can get the job done and run out. Well, the simple shot is just drop the 6 in and let the cue ball run through like that. And a little soft draw shot off the 7, or he can run long down to this bottom rail, whichever he's comfortable with. He's going to leave it at distance. And this one is a little killer shot. Kill the cue ball and punch the 8 down the rail. And Larry is going to get one back. It's back to within 1. He's trailing 5-6 with the break in rack number 12. But it is dry, and Slim, well, he's got nothing on that's easy here. Just looking to push this to the top rail, trying to get that cue ball tight towards the 4, but he's left it well short, so Larry's got an easy escape here. Out with the jump stick and try and pot the 1. Cue ball was always going to be colliding with that 9 ball, and Larry's got no real shot in the 2. And now that any attempted bank to this middle pocket here where the 6 ball is going to have to be accurate. It is very tight to try and squeeze that 2 ball in past the 6, but there is room, believe it or not, but it's so tight. But he's still got the other option of an easy enough safety. Just cut that 2 ball back. Oh dear, I don't think he's got there, surely. He's not played that well at all. And that was poor. That is not what I was thinking. What I was thinking to be doing would be banking that 2 back that way and bringing the cue ball down, but he just caught it a feather edge. And he's given Slim a free go. Now Slim has to just kill that cue ball stone dead if he can, because he'll have the angle to pot the 4 into the right middle and drop down onto the 5. Yeah, although it's went further to the left, he's still got a perfect angle. But Slim has underhit that by quite a ways, and now he's left with no shot. Now what's he thinking? He's lining up the bank, but it's not going to get there. But is it going to go safe? No, it isn't. So Larry has been reprieved. And is Larry going to be getting this match back all square? Now he's going to hit that 8 ball. And the double kiss on the 8 has undone him, because lo and behold, well, can he see enough of that? I think he can. But he's going to have to be careful he doesn't scratch. Where's the cue ball going? Oh, he's got away with it. He's got away with it big time. It was always an odds-on danger he was going to scratch there. And he's got a nasty little cutback to deal with. And this time, it rattles in the pockets, but it drops in. And surely it's going to be all square. Just a roll through in the 8. And the 9 ball into the left middle. He's got nothing to do with the cue ball other than run through slightly. Well, he could have done with running through a wee bit more. for comfort's sake. In goes the 9, and we've now got a tied match. 6 racks all, race to 9. Well, the tournament tonight didn't have a full quota of players. Probably quite a few players on vacation or still off work, busy doing things with their families and friends and whatever. And the tournament is certainly going to break the 3-hour mark, but not much more. We are, what, 2 hours and 55 minutes into the tournament. Now Larry, I don't know whether he can see enough of this too. I think it's touch and go. He's going to have to go rail to ball to try and make the cut on that too. And he's played it well to get the pot, but he's got no shot in the 3. And he knows that if he leaves this 3 on, he's surely giving the rack to Slim, because the balls are all sitting wide open. Well, he's got the kick. And that is actually not easy. Cue ball, 3 ball rolling right down the rail, and I think it's finished on the rail, or certainly not far off it. Yeah, that was tough. Tough to keep that hugging the rail. And Larry having to play the little swerve. And the spin stops the cue ball from running into the pocket, but Larry's in no good shape here at all. And there is room to squeeze that 5 past the 6 on that top right hand corner pocket. The cue ball's going to be going down there for the 6 ball to follow, but it all hinges on this 5. Well, Larry's went for it in the opposite corner and he's missed it. I would have thought the pot in the top right hand corner was much easier to run it down into the rail. Larry saw it different, and he's going to pay the price this time. Well, I think Slim is playing this with inside because he doesn't want to send that cue ball over towards the 9. He wanted to make sure he avoided going anywhere near the 9 ball and blocking himself off. Because the inside English checks the cue ball straight off that rail at the top, brings it into play rather than letting it drifting over to the left. Well, Slim has saw his 2-rack lead been whittled down to 0, but he's got his chance now to go 1 in front again by 7 racks to 6. Four ball tracking near the pocket, it runs around the jaws, and the break is dry. Now, what's Larry thinking here? He can certainly put Slim in trouble. But he didn't get the cover on the 1 ball. The 1 ball is squirted through. The only hindrance for Slim is queuing over that 5 ball. It limits his choice of shots. Yeah, this is the final. Yeah, we only had, I think there was only 10 players in the tournament tonight, which is handy for me because it means I can get all the tournament in without having to to quit before the finals. Inspector Dawn, I never even saw his result come through. He missed his first match, and then he lost his one-loss side match, so he has been and gone very early in the tournament this week. Well, Slim having a wild go at the bank. It gives Larry an opportunity, not a given opportunity, because the 2-ball is awkward, to try and find a gap, and Larry is going to scratch, I think, and that is unlucky. And immediately it's backfiring on Larry here. He's got it back all square. He saw Slim get himself one rack in front again, and playing a pretty good shot to find a gap between the 8 and the 9. The cue ball has just run into the middle pocket, and the immediate opportunity goes back to Slim to try and open that gap again. But he's going to have to deal with a problem, I think. Let's have a look. Well, no, he won't, because the 6-ball comfortably goes past the 7. But it only goes by there if you get good. That's what we always say. So he has to get the pace right on this 5-ball. He's got the angle to get the cue ball down the table here. And that looks pretty good. Well, it could have done me maybe a wee bit more. But when I say if you get good in the pot, see, there's plenty of room past that 6, but it's not quite as simple when you're not looking right down the line of it. You should still get this, but you see, you just brushed into the 7 there. Any more that wouldn't have went. It wouldn't have gone. But now he's out of line. He's got the cut. And, well, what do you not want to do here? You don't want to finish topside and lock yourself behind the 9. And he's well away from that. He's tinkering with that middle pocket, and now he's got a toughie. These are not easy. They are not easy at all. This type of shot. It's an awkward one. And he's gone full-blooded for it, and the bounce off the left rail is perfect. And he's got the 2-rack lead. And more importantly, Slim has now moved on to the hill. And he leads by 8 racks to 6. And he breaks off in rack number 15. The break is dry. The balls are a bit of a mess at the top end of the table. That 3-ball trying to sneak its way right in behind the 8-ball. Well, Larry's safety shots tonight have been fairly shocking as well. Some of the ones that we've seen. His touch is not there at all. He's hung up far too many balls. His safeties have been a bit loose. Well, Slim's got the starter. He's going to have to dig out the jump stick to rescue the situation here, so he can hit the 2. Now, is he looking to punch that 9? Yeah, I think that was a bit ambitious. 7-ball has gone in. No, there's a bonus. Doesn't really help him an awful lot because the 2 isn't going anywhere. But he can tuck that 2-ball in towards the 7 and the 3 and get the cue ball right down the bottom end of the table, and that is nasty. Oh, that is vicious. Well, pick your angle to hit that one, Larry, because I think the middle pocket's in the way on the right hand side, and he'll do well to get anywhere near that. Well, there's your Christmas present from One Pocket Slim, Larry, and his deal with that one. And Larry is going to be in deep trouble here in a second or two, because Slim is going to stick him for 2 fouls if he can. Unless he wants to try and break these balls open and run out. We're about to find out. But he can put Larry in a whole heap of nastiness. And, well, Larry's got a better chance of kicking at this one. But if he doesn't, it could be a 3 foul and out to lose the match for Larry. Well, he's out with the jump stick. He thinks he can make it, and he has done. And not only that, he has potted the 2. And now, let's have a look at this. I don't think he can legally pot that 3. It looks very tight to be able to get a potting angle on that 3. I think he can only push that to the rail. And the worst thing about that is if he just lands on the jaw, he may well leave it on. Well, he knows that if he leaves anything by way of a chance, well, he's tried to, but well, that's the best outcome he could ask for. It has gone safe. He will take that. Well, Larry played that with lots of inside left English again, so that when the cue ball hit that rail, it just checked it and stopped it spinning away to try and use the 5 ball as cover. Well, Larry can try and feather the 3 and try and get the cue ball up towards the 8 here if he can get it thin enough. Just skim it off the 3, brush the 3 behind the 5, and just try and get the cue ball in behind the 8. And that's not a bad effort. Just a wee bit short, but he has got the cover. I think Slim can certainly tuck in behind it and get the hit. And this time, Slim gets the lot. But if Larry can get this thin enough, which he has done, it's left Slim with a little touch onto the rail or a little feather onto the 3, but he can certainly get to it. Now the 4 ball isn't going anywhere. Something has to move there. And Larry just overhit that slightly. And Slim will be trying to tuck the cue ball back along this bottom rail towards the 4 and the 9. The only danger with that is he's going to be knocking the 3 ball up the right hand side of the table, somewhere that Larry will have a shot at if Slim doesn't get the cover. Well, Slim's gone all out there for the bank and the break, and he's got the break. The 4 ball now in the open, and good fortune has shone down again on One Pocket Slim because he's left Larry no shot in the 3. Well, he's trying to thin edge it. That's a cracking shot. Well, Larry's eyes have suddenly come back, but how unfortunate is that? That was a brave shot to take on, but he gets no reward. And he's had a kick at the 4 and just hoping it goes safe. Well, I didn't think Larry could cut that 3 ball. He's managed to pull it off. Slim's going to go all out for the bank. He's going to be running towards the 8 ball. Is he going to have a shot? Well, he's played the draw. And the 4 ball has stayed straight. And it's straight over that right middle pocket. And Larry has his lifeline. Well, the danger is still to come, because the 6 ball, Larry cannot leave it straight. He's got to get an angle, and he is straight. So it's all about the draw and the pace. Got to get beyond that middle pocket. And he's played it well. That is perfect. Now, anywhere on the right hand side of the table, beyond the middle pocket, down the bottom half here, will do. And that will give him his first lifeline to get him back to within 1. Well, I said earlier on in the tournament that Larry has been shaky, to say the least, in some of the shots. I've lost count how many he's hung up, but somehow he was still in the tournament, and he still is, and he's in the final. And he could still I'll say that again, he could still may well be destined to have his name in the trophy. He's not out yet. He's still in with a shout. And sometimes that's the way tournaments go. You don't play great. You hang up a few shots, but you still manage to find your way through to the final. And he's going to have to do it the hard way, though. He's going to have to win these last 3 racks. He's already won 1 of them, but once again, Larry has missed the shot. Cue ball finished on no shot in the 3 anyway. And Slim's got a toughie to start with, and deciding it's not worth the risk. Much easier to play a half decent safety shot, and that's what I say. If it's easier to play the safety shot than it is to try some ambitious pot, then play a half decent safety. And Larry's kicked at the 2. Now, will Slim try the billiard onto the 6? No, he's looking just to spin in behind the 6, but he hasn't got there. Now, how's that looking? Well, I think Larry's looking to play the pot down into that top left-hand corner pocket as we look. Cue ball will be coming off the side rail and out into the table for a cut in the 3. But he's overcut the 2. It was not an easy shot. These are tough shots to take on. But Larry, for the most part, is generally all or nothing. If he has a sniff of that pot, he'll go for it. Well, it squeezes past the 6. He's on for the match, but the 6 ball has come to Larry's rescue. Slim has been blocked out. And he's going for the little Massey shot. Well, no, he went for the jump. Oh, well, even though Slim has fouled, look at what's happened to the 4 ball. Larry's going to have to play a nice little positional shot here if he's going to drop in behind that 4. And he's just trying to drop through. Well, is he trying to spin them open? No, he's just trying to spin in behind it. And that's perfect. Couldn't have placed it any better with his hand. But he's still got to get up for that 7 and get on the 8. So this rack for Larry to take the final all the way to the last rack. Well, it's going to have to be either 3 or 4 rails here. There, there, and possibly there to get on the 7. Well, it's finding the line. It's got there, but I think he's dead straight. Oh, this is still going to have to be a good shot because he's dead straight pretty much. He's got a slight angle and he's trying to create something here to get up. And he's not taking the risk. He's left himself a nemesis shot, this 8 ball. This is not easy. Apart from the fact he's going to be brushing into the 9. But he's got it clean. And he has a shot at the 9 to take it to the final rack. And in goes the 9. And we are going all the way. The final rack decider. And it's going to be Larry to break. And is my prophecy going to come true? Well, the 2 and the 3 are locked up. Larry's got the 6 ball in the break. He's got no shot in the 1. Well, he's got the double kiss in the 1. And that has given Slim the chance to pot the 1. But he's got no... Well, he has got a shot. He has to punch this 1 in if he's going to try and break across the table twice to try and split that 2 and 3. But he's decided he's going to try and leave the combo, and he's going to have to cut this quite severely to make the cut angle on that 3. He's going to have to pick the line on the 2 to go that way to make the hit in the 3 to go into that pocket. And he's played it perfect. How's his luck for position? Not too good. He's going to need another good one. Into a blind pocket. Lots of draw. Or is he going to run it topside? No, he's decided he's going to play safe. And common sense has prevailed. He's not prepared to take the risk. And I'm pretty certain had Larry had that shot, he would have went for it. Once again though, Larry has not got anywhere near what you would call safety. He's got distance, but he's left the starter on here for Slim. And a lot of the safety shots are just not falling into place here for Larry tonight. They haven't been. Combine that with the amount of shots he's hung up. Oh, that kiss in the 9 has done Slim a huge favour. He's landed plumb in the 4. And he's got these remaining balls for the match. And Larry may well have played his last shot and made his last mistake in the last Friday Night 9-ball of 2019. And Slim has left that about straight. He may well just have to kill it stone dead and leave this across the right hand corner. Well, he's played the draw and he's managed to get used to the jaws, and he still should be home and dry anywhere on the right hand side of the table. He's looking at the 9. And so it's going to be one pocket Slim, who saw Larry win those previous 2 racks to take it to the final rack decider. But Slim has won out in the end. Larry made the loose safety, and that gave Slim his chance, and Larry has won the match by 9 racks to 8. So we'll have a final look at the money, if I can find the damn thing. And we will see that 4th place got 145 $. 3rd place got 195, and the runner-up tonight, Larry, got 290, and Slim has won 575 $. So with that, folks, bearing in mind Slim and Bedhead were the only 2 people left here, thank you for watching. I will bid you good night. Wish you a happy new year when it comes, because the next Friday Night 9-ball is going to be in 2020. Until then, I will bid you good night, and we will see you again soon. Thanks for joining, guys.